because if you have fewer categories that all relate to this overarching content theme, everything is just more cohesive. You can always have a catch-all, sort of more personal, fun category, and I think you should. You're going to want to keep your target audience in mind. And when you make your target audience, really narrowly defined, you really get to know, who they are, right? What they really care about, what their needs are, what their pain is. And there's a concept, called developing a persona, so that you can really, create a person, right? And have this person in mind, as a member of your target audience that you're always writing to when you write a blog post, an article, anything, so that you really are serving, your target audience. Probably the biggest pushback that I get when I encourage people to blog is the fact that they think, oh, well, I don't know how I'm going to come up with all this original content on a regular basis. And my answer for that is all you need to do is strive to create a well-organized resource for your area of expertise, right? So if you're a thought leader on a certain topic, what you want to aim to do on your blog is to really aggregate other information online about that topic, connect with other thought leaders around that topic, comment on what they're saying, but instead of going on their blog and doing it, write it on your blog and do it as a track back. So really, aggregating the best of the best on the web around a certain topic makes a lot of sense and is very helpful. And then certainly, maybe 1 out of 4 posts can be, your original thought leadership. Write posts in your authentic voice. Really make them sound like you. It's something you're going to develop over time. Andy can probably speak to this better than I can, but certainly if you follow Andy, you know that he's really good about that, right? And we all feel like we kind of know Andy just by reading, what he writes.
Well, and I think that authenticity is it's a challenge, but it's also a huge opportunity because when you're talking about personal branding and small business branding, so often people kind of hide behind like a bad brand, which is more concocted than honest. But again, I would challenge you to name one person who has a very strong personal brand that is not authentic, whether it's because they're passionate or provocative. Everybody that has had success with their brand is doing so in a very personal and authentic voice.
Right. Yeah, there's a great quote by Anne Morrow Lindbergh, and she said, the most exhausting thing that you can be is inauthentic.
That's right.
It's actually easier to be yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, and it takes courage to be yourself. So really have the courage, take the risk to go be out there and be yourself and watch what happens. And I will bet that that will be super successful for you. That's when you really begin to attract the exact right clients for you, and it changes the sales conversation. So my sales conversations have really moved to the point where people call me and they say, how can I work with you? Sign me up. I'm not convincing them, right? And I love it because, people call me and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to work with this person, right? Because I'm putting information out there about the kinds of clients that I really enjoy working with. Okay, so next slide. And this is a really important point when you're branding your blog. And I know that this is in line with typepad's philosophy, but it's certainly I share this philosophy, with all of my heart. That really your blog is your primary website. You do not need any other website but your typepad blog, and you can accomplish everything you want to do, through this one portal for brand you. So really build your typepad blog as a portal for your brand, as your business website, and then everything that you do online should feed in and feed out from that blog. I mean, the blog is really the hub for all of your online and offline branding activities, and they all point to the website, right? And your website highlights the things that you're doing elsewhere. But it's really the portal. And so you can see some examples of that, certainly at the featured blogs at typepad, and there's some examples on my site as well. And with the fabulous addition of pages in typepad, right, you can really accomplish this. And you can decide if your blog is going to be primarily a blog or primarily a website, right? And like if you go to my site, my site is a typepad blog, so I buy into this personally. My site is primarily structured as a blog. As a website, and the blogging is really secondary. And you can see how other things that I'm doing are integrated into that. So I use a widget to integrate Twitter, and there's a LinkedIn badge and so forth. Okay. Next slide. And in our book, we talk about the 6 Ps of online branding. So, if you think of the blog as a hub, you want to be doing all these other things online, publishing articles, and then you can, cross-post them on your blog if you have the rights to do that, set up other online profiles at LinkedIn and so forth, and put the links from your blog, do social networking that's partnering, create online press releases, and optimize those. Go and comment on other people's blogs. Commenting is one of the best ways that you can possibly build your brand online. Encourage comments on your blog, and because having a blog, it's not static, right? It allows you to really engage with your audience and engage with other people. It allows us to really experience, allows your audience to experience you, and allows you to really experience, other thought leaders and potential clients for you. So really, start with the blog, and then think about kind of all the different ways that you can then extend your brand online and tie it in to your blog. So on the next slide,